Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you're well. You're amazing, amazing, beautiful, wonderful people. It's Friday, baby. It's Friday, and I'm not actually here. Well, I am here. I'm here in the video, but this was recorded like yesterday. This was recorded yesterday, and I should be on a plane. Hopefully, I'm on a plane. If you never hear from me again, this is the last video you ever see. You know that we didn't land well, or we landed really well. Just well, I don't know how you'd say that went. Definitely not well if I don't do another video. Anyway, I'm getting straight into it because I did a video a couple of days ago. This is going to get hard because I've got to kind of try and do this so it looks like it. Actually, I did the video yesterday, but when this comes out, that'll be 2 days ago. Fuck it, let's just get on with it. So yeah, I did a video and it was about Qassim because a friend came forward and vouched for him. They vouched for him. Do you know what I mean? They come forward and said, "Look, I knew this guy as Whisper. He was a soft-spoken, softy, wouldn't hurt a fly. Obviously a drug trafficker, so he would supply drugs that would destroy families and kill people, but you got to kind of push that to side. You don't listen to it. You don't think about that. But look, he was a sofa surfer, not round their house though. Didn't explain why. I didn't know whether that was a room issue or they didn't have a sofa, so he couldn't do it there. But he would go there. Do you know what I mean? And so they were friends. He was a friend back in the day. She lived in Wales, which was where he was trafficking to. And yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so she come forward and she talked about various things, numerous things, like how he would call her from prison. They knew each other. They went through court together. She felt that he just felt guilty, and that's why he was ringing her from prison and make sure she was all right, because she got obviously caught up in his life. That was a disaster. And yeah, she said, look, the important thing to take from this was he's not a murderer. And I kind of laughed about all this, right? I kind of laughed about it, and I got a load of flack in the comments saying, that's it. You just say that if people have been involved in drugs, they're a killer. They're a killer. Brilliant journalism. For a start off, I'm not a fucking journalist. Don't lump me in that. Not a journalist. I talk about the stuff that's out there. Do you know what I mean? The stuff that's reported out there, the stuff that people get duped by, I talk about and make sure that you're not getting duped by shit. But no, the point of this weren't to say that I'm saying that if someone's involved in drug trafficking and stuff like that, they're a killer. All right? I'm not saying that. I'm saying in this instance, so I'm going to compartmentalise this case. We're going to compartmentalise it and say, what do we know about this case? And this is the problem that I have with Mr. Qassim. All right? And that is that we have a lad who's missing. We know this lad is a sketchy motherfucker. Previously, he had been involved himself in caving someone's fucking head in with his stupid little spack of mates. That's what happened. Now, people don't want to say about it. They want to turn out... It's always about trying to make victims look like angels, and he weren't a fucking angel. He might have been on the road to recovery and being a better person. He seems to be getting a lot of support locally, but a lot of that support will be fucking people being nosy bastards. Do you know what I mean? They don't give a fuck behind closed doors, but they want to give the perception that they care. That's just the way communities are. I've seen it here. And I live in a military zone. If someone loses their life or someone gets hurt, they talk about it. They talk a good talk, but behind the closed doors, they don't give a flying monkey's shitballs. But in this case, this guy, who's an ex-trafficker, is the last person, or one of the last people, because we don't know who the other one is, but at the end of the day, I'm not arrogant enough to feel like we must know, pitchforks and all. I'm just saying we don't know who it is. The person who was with him, the identity is being hidden for some unbeknownst reason. Now, I have speculated whether it's because it's this pot of paper and he doesn't want any negative publicity around his current works, because he's famous. He's recently doing work with Stormzy, and in that song they're talking about Whisper. Again, I've said this previously, probably coincidental. Definitely coincidence. Definitely, isn't it? But look, so when you've got a convicted drug trafficker who is seemingly in the story that involves a a little prick, because he is the guy. I don't want anything to come to him. I'm not saying that because I think he deserves what he gets. I want the guy to be found. I want him to be found, but I'm not going to pretend that he isn't what he is. Do you know what I mean? I've got kids are pricks, mate. That's just the way it is. If you've got kids and they're not pricks, you're lucky. You're real lucky, because in my experience, kids are pricks a lot of the time, especially to each other. And look, so this thing happens. He goes missing, and then you've got this drug trafficker guy here. Now, you don't have to be a killer to be complicit in the demise of an individual. That can come about in numerous ways. That can come about in just not doing the right thing. That can be by doing something that scares somebody and makes them make bad decisions that leads to their demise. It's like saying, I don't shoot someone, but I gave him the gun to shoot himself. You're still complicit in that. Even though you're not a murderer per se, you're still a killer. It's like we saw recently with the mother of a child who had gone and executed people, her getting, arrested and charged for that. And that's no different here. It's a different concept, but the principle of it is the same. You have somebody who's involved in the last person to see someone before they vanish off the face of the planet. Well, if that person ends up dying because of something you did, then that's on you. Now, I'm not saying that Qassim fucking strangled the boy to death or done something like that. Do you know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, what we're hearing, what is being pushed out there, is that Jay wouldn't get in the car with this guy, wouldn't get in the car and wait for a drive. He decides that it's better for him to walk 11 fucking hours rather than getting in the car with this guy. That's the story. That's the story here. But the search brings up nothing. And they've searched this area with drones, dogs, cops, people who know what they're doing. Search and rescue. They're all up there and they don't find a fucking thing. Don't find a thing. Now, even if this was the byproduct of going out and getting smashed off their noodle, right? Smashed off their noodle. So he ain't even thinking straight. Where did those things come from? Where did the things that led him to this mindset come from? Could it have possibly come from the drug trafficker? You're going to, and before you, no, I'm going to stop it there and I'm going to put that on you. I'm going to put it on you. Because, again, it's very easy for people to turn around and say, oh, you're wrong. Just because he's involved in narcotics or has been doesn't mean he's killed somebody. While he was involved in narcotics, while he was one of the biggest traffickers in the UK, trafficking drugs between London and Wales, he was killing people. And if you can't see that, then you're a fucking idiot. I'll catch you in the next one.